Hello, humanity. My name is Terrence Pryor. I've been working in rock music for about 20 years in America, and I think it's time to make a video about the stuff that I have to go through in this industry. So there was a festival in May. I made Rock and Roll Festival in Indianapolis. It's a festival featuring a ton of black rock artists. Good times, right? Good times, right? I didn't get any sort of notification about this festival as a black person that writes about rock music. It's probably like one of the only ones in America that writes about traditional rock music. I didn't get any sort of like, hey, check this out. Hey, this was good. I wasn't gonna go because money and everything. But I want you to look at this flyer. Look at the flyer for this event. A good portion of these artists are not allowed to talk to black music journalists. Let me explain. This is something that I've been talking about for the longest time. When it comes to black rock artists, most publicists will tend to keep them away from black writers. Well documented. There's this publicist, Jamie Coletta, works for No Earbuds, who has black artists who she doesn't let them talk to black writers. She manages Barty Strange. He probably only talked to one black person under her management. She has Jaharia under her roster. She's probably going to let them talk to one black person. She used to work for Side One Dummy. Used to, write about her clients and everything. But when she decided to make the jump to No Earbuds, it's suddenly, oh, I can't talk to him anymore. Because if you look at who she shares articles and whatever, it's just white dudes. White dudes, white dudes, white dudes, white dudes, white dudes, white dudes, white dudes. White woman who gets overlooked because they're not a white dude, 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 white dude. Now, a lot of these publicists, they will only let their black rock artists only talk to Afropunk. Afropunk is the quota, so to say. It's quota. It's, if you have a black rock artist in your roster, you will just pitch them to Afropunk automatically. Either that, or if you're a black person who writes for like Rolling Stone or Billboard, there is no in between. If you're a black rock artist, you are only allowed to talk to Afropunk or a Rolling Stone. I've had publicists who have had black rock artists. They'll pitch me everything underneath the sun except for their black rock artists. And I will contact them. Hey, can I interview such and so? And it gets ignored. It gets ignored. Like, the only way that I can know about black rock artists in America is if I apply to work for Afropunk. Bands like Unity TX, Meet Me at the Altar, Magnolia Park. They're all going to pull their Lenny Kravitz bull at some point. If you don't know, Lenny Kravitz went publicly and was like, how come black people don't write about me? I've been doing this for so and so amount of years. I have never seen black people write about my music. And a ton of music journalists from past, present, and future basically said, your white publicists reject all of our interview requests, and they ignored every single article we've ever written about you. And Lenny Kravitz replied with basically like, yeah, I paid them to do that. When you hire a publicist, you're basically saying, hey, don't pitch me to black writers, in a sense, because a lot of them will never pitch. If you're a rock band, you're a black rock band, they won't pitch you to black. Except for Afropunk. That's it. That's the quota. They hope that maybe that black writer from Rolling Stone, but there's no in between. Like I said, I get a lot. There's a lot of black artists that I have to deal with. Jason Butler from Fever 333. I used to write about him a lot when he played in Let Live. He didn't care. He only wanted to hear from white dudes. LaJohn from Seven Dust. I don't even know if he knows black people. Okay, now this is a homework for Jamie, Jason, LaJohn, publicists who I've worked with in the past. I want you to clip what I said about you. I want you to post your rebuttal and look at the comment section. no one with my skin color will be there. Anyway, radio. I used to do radio before I was writing about music. I used to do radio for WUCR, Union County College Radio. Great time, excellent time, one of the best experiences in the world. The only way a black person could ever work for K-Rock is if they apply to be a janitor. And that's true. And they talk about diversity, and it's like the only thing diverse is the different hairstyles that all the white dudes have. Like you literally just have all 8 white dudes, and this guy has his, spiky mohawk, and this one's bald, and this one has half their head shaved. Diversity, and it's like, no, it's not diversity. You just have white dudes. There's one black person that I know that works for a rock station out here, and it's just one. It's like that's the quota for the entire country. It's just one black person. I tried applying for Adobe Radio on a few occasions. Never hear back from them, even though I was told, okay, just apply for Adobe Radio. People that work there, and I checked, and they only had one show with black hosts. Shocker, right? And it's a pop culture show, not on this show at all. Like Geek Girl Riot is cool, but for me, not seeing a black person hosting a rock show or a person of color hosting a rock show is like, yeah, I guess Adobe has like a secret thing. It says must be a white man to do that, or it must be white to do that. I don't know. It's just a bull thing. And nowadays, social media kind of ruined it for people like me. TikTok ruined it for people like me. There's a TikToker by the name of Mr. Professor 318, and I'm pretty sure you've seen him around. He dances to music. He dances to rock music. That's the only way people can learn that black people like rock music, is by watching us dance to it and going, look, they do like that music. Like Pop Evil invited him to hang out because he danced to one of their videos, and they were like, look, a black guy likes our music. Black person writes about their music, dead silence. And that's why bands like Pop Evil can go f themselves. I can't write about Bad Religion. I can't do a 10 deep cuts. I can't do 10 deep cuts of Bad Religion. I have to post a video of myself dancing to Bad Religion in order to get the band's attention. Okay, so they could invite me to a concert. I'm like, oh, this is that Terrence Pryor here. He's dancing to Supper Watch Show and everything. It's gross. Music festivals actually have been rejecting press for TikTokers like Mr. Professor, which is actually horrifying that press is being shoved out for these 30-second dancing bits or whatever. And it's bad. I can't even get it on a podcast here in Los Angeles. For a black guy that's, talk about rock music, it's like I have to be in a band, or I have to have like 100,000 followers. I don't have that. Being a black person with nearly 20 years of experience in the music industry, writing about bands, going to events, covering all these events, it means nothing. Nothing. I know most music journalists that don't even have like maybe at best 20,000 followers. That's it. Like maybe that have been working for like longer than me. Like if someone had to choose between a black journalist like myself and driving 50 miles to some random guitar center to look for a random musician, or not even a random musician, someone that just looks like a musician standing next to a guitar as a guest, they would take that drive. There have been times where I would get, I would ask, hey, can you be on a podcast and whatnot? And they would say, hey, can we have you on in February since that's your month? The conversation took place in like a May or June. Oh no, let's wait until February because that's your month. That's the only time that black people can talk about rock music in America is February. After that, we disintegrate like Thanos, snap, and everything. People of color and women have to try so hard to be accepted in rock journalism in America. It's terrible. White dudes do the bare minimum. White guy illegally uploads songs and albums to Twitter. Yahoo! Get him on a podcast. One of us. One of us. Black people, people of color, women struggling, interviewing, doing all these cool articles and whatnot. Nah, we'll just wait for the next white dude. And that's it. Like, I have to move to the UK in order to be accepted in rock journalism. That's, the UK has Sophie K, great person. This is a black woman who is out here interviewing Metallica and Corey Taylor. That could not happen in America. I am telling you, the only way that Rolling Stone or Billboard would ever let a black woman interview Metallica, if it was like Nicki Minaj or a Lizzo, they would never let an actual black female journalist 50 feet near that band. That's just harsh reality with major publications like that. It's fun whenever I mention stuff like this about being black and rock journalism and everything. There's always that one guy that's like, if a black guy could write about rock music, a white guy should be able to write about rap music. Like, yeah, they've been doing that for decades. All the biggest rap albums have quotes from white dudes. That's just how it is. It's just mainly white dudes who are, major publications didn't let black people talk about black music until like 2010 or something. Let's just be real. Some of the biggest rap critics today are white dudes. If you can have white dudes still be at the top of rap criticism, then I should be one of the biggest rock critics in this country retroactively, or an Asian person, or an Indian person, or a woman, whatever. Like, it's gross. White dudes can write about any genre of music that they want. I'm pretty sure some of the biggest writers of Indian music are white dudes, which is fucking weird. Black people are only allowed to do hip hop, R&B, jazz. Anything outside of that, we're considered trash. We're considered sellouts. It's gross having to deal with that for about 20 years. Recently, the past 6 years or whatever, I started to kind of go into more games media, video games, TTRPGs, because I love that stuff. I grew up playing video games and whatnot, so I figured, like, hey, that'd be cool if I could write about that. It's a a decent industry, but still, it's like I need 100,000 followers for anyone to talk to me, and plus there's Gatekeeper Keeley. If you don't know who Gatekeeper Keeley is, he is the gatekeeper. E3, that was like a dream of mine, was to eventually cover E3, and now that's not gonna happen. Gatekeeper Keeley and his Summer Game Fest, he's basically shutting out small press, and that sucked. And the one thing that was cool about E3 was that you have small press, chopping it up with people from IGN and whatnot, because you don't know. It's like, there's plenty of people that came in as small press at E3 that, shared their card and whatnot, and, talked to the right people that started to get a job at IGN and whatnot. And now, small press, we got to do the thing of hopefully we get a job at one of the last few remaining major video game publications, because they're all either getting shut down or bought, which would lead to them getting shut down. It's very sad. I also been writing about anime. The anime industry is pretty, meaty. I met a lot of people from Crunchyroll and whatnot that are pretty cool, and I like it. I like the medium. It's fun. Basically, I'm in LA because I want to do music supervision, which, if you don't know, that's the art of putting music in TV, movies, video games, and whatnot. And that's something I've always wanted. That's something, as a kid, every time I heard a song, I would just imagine a scene behind it. And I would do that. And I didn't know. I was like, I would hear a song. Even today, I would hear a song and just imagine like a scene behind it. Imagine just like a feeling behind it. And that's something that I want to get into, because I love there's so much music out there that if people like Jamie want to sit and gatekeep it from me, okay, f- you. There's so many that it's like, yeah, let's not work with you because there's just so much out there. Why bother, right? That's why you don't do stuff like that to people. It's bad. But overall, it's just like that's just how it is. Like I've dealt with a lot of racism, at, you know, festivals and whatnot. I've dealt with people who didn't know that I was an actual writer and whatnot. It was situations where people would see like, "Are you lost?" Like they would see me and go, "Are you lost?" And then just some random white dude would walk by, like, "Hey, are you here for to cover the show?" Like a random white dude would just walk by. But for me, who has experience, who has all this stuff, random white dude, just that's just how it is. And the one festival where I felt safe was Farnborough Festival. And that was a country music festival in New York City. That was a weird time. That was a weird event. I think it got canceled after 1 year because it was just a mind blowing thing to have a country festival at People's Reynolds Island. And like I said, racism still a thing. I went to see Enter Shikari, October 2022. I went to see Enter Shikari. I was there covering the show. They played at the, I think, Regent Theater. Correct me, I'm going to probably edit this and whatnot if it's wrong. But they played at Regent Theater, and I was having a good time. I was having fun. Like during their set, this is not a joke. This is something that happened. Someone tapped me on the shoulder, showed their phone. In the phone, there was a message that read, "I'm surprised to see someone like you here." I was the only black guy at the show. This is 2022. To do something like that is just gross. To call someone out, "Hey, look, a black," it's gross. That's how I see it as. To be like if you saw some Indian people, you're like, "Wow, there's Indian people." No, don't do that. That's gross. That's pathetic. I went to see Slipknot, Knotfest LA 2021. I went to see Slipknot. There were these really old white dudes who saw me, and they were like, "Hey, man," and they started humming the melody of Duality. It was just so weird to see some dudes like, "Finger to my hands," all this stuff. Like, "Hey, do you know that song? You're here for the show, right? You should know that song." What's the name of that song? And I was like, the name of the song is called "I Hope You Die in a Pit," so that people of color and women don't have to hear your little bullshit riddles 3 just to enjoy a rock show. And they looked at me, and they just walked away. And that's the stuff that I had to deal with. You could have like a really old white dude, right? Really old white veteran journalist, right? You could have a black guy and a white guy. And the white guy would be like, "Hey, I want to write about rock music, but I only care about rock music that came out after 2020. You're old, you're Rolling Stones. I'm only going to write about rock music that came out after 2020. And the old white guy like, "Yeah, rock on, brother." Black guy shows up, "Hey, I've been listening to rock music ever since I was a kid. I love the Beatles. I play guitar. I want to get into this rock thing." And he's like, "Whoa, buddy, are you sure you want to do this?" In order to really understand rock music, you have to listen to the top 500 rock albums from Rolling Stone. You have to go see Metallica 10 times, and you have to collect 7 Dragon Balls, and you have to do all this other. That's when you understand rock music, and that's the thing. A lot of these old white dudes don't like seeing someone like me writing about rock. There was an incident. The publicist that I've worked with since the beginning, really great person. He invited me to an event, and there was this veteran white rock journalist, and I was introduced. "Oh, yeah, this is Terrence. He writes about rock music." And no joke, this old white dude just went, just chuckled. "Are you black? Get out of here." And I wanted to choke him out. I'm dead serious. I wanted to choke him out. There was a part of me I wanted to choke him out. I didn't. I didn't. You know, it's just that's how it is. This is the stuff that I have to deal with constantly, day to day, in this industry. You know, I love the music, but the music don't love me. You know, I'll never be on Rolling Stone, never be into the stuff. You know, I don't even bother applying because they're never gonna hire people of color. They're never gonna hire a black person to write about rock music. They'll hire a black person and try to, hey, no, it's hip hop. Check out this rapper and whatever. And I just had to keep doing my thing. You know, through my website, I got to interview some cool people. I got to hang out with Avenged Sevenfold. Got to interview M Shadows. Got to do a TV show and everything. That was pretty nice. And I actually have the interview with M Shadows. I uploaded it here on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube. But yeah, it's been fun. But for a black person, it's very heartbreaking. Black people, you know, are only seen as hip hop and R&B. I've been here for almost 20 years. There's no one to be jealous of here. I think people say when I have these complaints, they think it's jealousy. There's no one to be jealous of here. Like I'm like one of the only. I mean, Afropunk. Afropunk is more of black centric, where I kind of talk about just in general rock music, in general, you know, pop music, electronic music, and whatnot. So I'm kind of just here, having to deal from publicists, having to deal from bands, having to deal with all this crazy stuff. Just like I don't know. It just hurts. But there's so much good music out there that someone has to write about it. And that's kind of, I think that's what's keeping me going. Just having a lot of good stuff out there. You know, and just trying to make it through the next day. And that's why I keep doing this today, so I can hear some new bands, so I can see some new bands live and whatnot, because I just like music, and that's really it, you know. So yeah, how do I want to end this? Black people can write about rock music, America. Please stop being racist. That's basically it. You can follow me on the socials, whatever. If you got angry that I called you out here, I don't give a maybe, you know, do better as a person. You know, do better as a person, and people wouldn't want to call you out being a total. Take care. Bye. I'll see you some other time. If not, I don't know. I'll probably upload some shorts here and whatnot. Yeah, I'll see you some other time. Bye.